I've had several inquiries about making a t-shirt quilt or a memory quilt, and I've made quite a few. I have my own style, and you can pick and choose from the parts of this that you like. There are lots of videos on YouTube. My plan is to break it into tiny increments so that you can do one step at a time and follow along with me. My order that I have right now is for queen size. That's not a good place to start. My first t-shirt quilt was a queen size, and that was quite daunting, but uh, a lap a lap quilt is a good place to start. And so you can follow along with me and do a smaller one. Today, I want to show you the things that you're going to need to start. Of course, you're going to need your shirts. Um, you can use t-shirts. You can use sweatshirts, hoodies. Um, you can use woven fabric. Um, so it's very wide open. I've used, when I've made memory quilts for little ones out of their baby clothes, I've even used a baby swimsuit, onesies. So it's very flexible. You can, once you learn the basics, then you can use your own imagination. Um, so I'm going to do a queen size quilt, and that's 5 blocks by 6 blocks. So I need 30 blocks. So she brought me t-shirts. I haven't really counted them. Some she wants front, a block out of the front and a block out of the back. Some are just the chest graphic or pocket, and I'm going to combine 4 of those into one block. So I'm just going to do this stabilizing, and then I'll arrange the blocks, and she's even going to bring me some more later on that she didn't have with her when she visited this week. So let's get started with the things you're going to need. You're going to need the shirts. I use dollar store bags and monogram their initial or first name or whatever on it. And then after I cut the blocks out, I can keep the blocks, the fabric that I'm going to use, and all in a bag. So if I have more than one order at a time, which happens frequently, I can keep it all separate. So these are $1 at the Dollar Tree. So that's a wonderful organizational tool. You're going to need stabilizer. I order mine from Walmart. This is 906F, which is 906 fusible. You can use a heavier weight if you like. This works fine. That's the best price I've found. So I order from Walmart, order a couple of bolts of it, and they'll ship it right to your door, no postage. You're going to need templates. Now, I use a 12-inch block for the t-shirt quilts. For the lap quilts, I usually use the 8-inch. When I'm cutting out the design to combine from the pocket or the chest design, I use a 4-inch. I also have the 9-inch. I have a 15-inch. I have, on a few occasions, had graphics that were larger than the 12-inch, and so I used 12-inch blocks and then 15-inch at the bottom and just trimmed the sides, the width of them. So you'll need your template, whatever size you want. If you're going to make a lap quilt, I would recommend an 8-inch. For a t-shirt, I recommend the 12-inch because most graphics, most shirts will fit on the 12-inch. So get your templates, your interfacing, and you'll need batting. Once again, I found Walmart has the best price. I try to get the queen size because I cut it. You'll see that later how I don't use the whole whole piece of batting out of I cut it in strips. But they have the best prices, and I buy several of those at a time when I shop. Of course, you'll need your machine, and you'll need the thread and the scissors, and you'll need a good rotary cutter with a sharp blade. I don't change it every time I start a quilt, but it's a good idea, especially if you're cutting um, through seams or thick fabrics. You're going to need to change this frequently. Now, I like to do what I call rustic patchwork, and I like to do a variety of colors and patterns. Um, I grew up in the hills of West Virginia where we used leftovers from our clothing, and we'd lay in the bed and look at the pieces on the quilt and say, oh, this was a dress that my mom made me for Easter, and this was a pair of shorts I had last summer, and they used scraps. But some people now want, especially if the t-shirts are, the colors are all over the place, they want a unifying theme for their sashing and their backing. Gray seems to be very popular because it complements any colors and gives a more muted feel with all the sometimes wildness that's going on with the shirt graphics. So this young lady, it's a graduation gift for her, and she chose the colors, and she chose gray. So I simply went to the fabric store. I got it. She did not like a large chevron. That's the only. So I communicate frequently with the customers to make certain they like everything about it. So I sent her a picture. I use Messenger so I can keep track of my conversations with customers. And I sent her a picture of all the fabrics that I had chosen. And she liked them all except this one. So this one's out. I will also go through my stash, and I'll have some other pieces that I can incorporate as well. But after talking with her, I kind of know her style. So I think she'll be okay with that. Now, the fabrics are all washed. Because especially if you're using cotton, there's a chance of them shrinking, and you don't want that to happen after you've quilted. So wash them first, and you're ready to go. So I think we have everything. You'll need a cutting mat, of course, to lay your shirt and your template on, to use your rotary cutter on. And I use my ironing board as my table. So I do that all in my sewing room, which is also my guest bedroom. So space tends to be limited. I do some embroidery on it, on the quilt. So I'll show you that as we get farther on. So I think we have the basics. So you need shirts, fabric, stabilizer, your templates, a rotary cutter, batting, and thread. I like to use Quilt 100% cotton quilting thread, and I like to use a color that doesn't stand out. So I'll probably use gray to quilt this one. That way, if you make a mistake on your quilting and it's not perfect, it's not so noticeable. All right, so this is episode 1, and gathering materials to start your t-shirt quilt. See you next time.